Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be going through our Patagonia insulation range, talking you through the different features, what they're good for, and which one might be the right one for you. Okay, so first up we have the Micro Puff, which represents something really special within Patagonia's range. This is the best warmth to weight ratio synthetic jacket that Patagonia have ever created. It also represents the most packable synthetic insulation that they've ever created, and we'll get back to that in just a second. So to start with, we've got a 10 denier face fabric. This is a Pertex Quantum face fabric, so it's giving you a really good level of weather protection. So that is wind protection, so it's windproof, but a little bit of water resistance as well, thanks to a DWR coating on the outer. It's not waterproof by any means, but it's going to shrug off a very light shower. And because it's synthetic insulation, it's going to keep you warm even when it gets wet. Moving through that, we've got the Plumafill insulation, and this is where things get really special. This is a new insulation by Patagonia, which is better designed to represent down. So, as many of us know, down has a lot of really good attributes when it comes to keeping you warm. Good regulator of temperature, packs down really small, and you tend to get a much better warmth to weight ratio. A lot of that is down to the loft and the way that down works. In recent years, we've seen a lot of development within synthetic insulation, and this year we're seeing a lot more, with jackets from RAB and Mountain Equipment really pushing the boundaries of what synthetic insulation can do. And Patagonia don't want to be any different. This is the Plumafill insulation, which better emulates down. So it's got a much better loft to it. It's designed to pack down a lot smaller, but it's also designed to regulate your temperature a lot better, which is why we're able to create such an awesome jacket that looks really, really thin, really, really light, but still gives you a really good warmth to weight ratio. So the warmth is really good compared to the weight of the jacket. What aids in that is this really nice quilted pattern that you see on almost all of Patagonia's synthetic insulated jackets. It's been around for a little while, but it's been tailored now to really help with the Plumafill insulation. And what this does is it helps stop the insulation from migrating. It allows the insulation to loft to its full potential, making sure that you stay nice and warm, but it also helps stabilize the insulation. So it's not moving around, it's not creating cold spots, which some of you may know from down insulation, and helping regulate your body temperature really well. It also allows for really good airflow through the jacket, so warm air is able to move through the jacket, equalizing the amount of warmth you feel throughout the jacket. So a really good move from Patagonia to a synthetic insulation that is better emulating down, and I'm really excited to see where this goes in the future. Moving to the features, we're seeing an extremely low profile hood designed to go underneath a helmet, so a little bit different to what we're used to from a lot of jackets. This is designed to go under your hood rather than over it. We're seeing elasticated sides to the hood, just so it better fits your head without any adjustment needed, so there's no need for toggles or drawstrings on this, and there's nothing at the back either, like a drawstring, so it just fits your head nicely, and that again just goes down to being able to fit under a helmet. They don't want any bulk or anything causing you any issues. We've got a one-way YKK main zipper, so a high-quality zipper. It is one-way, so you wouldn't want to belay in this jacket necessarily, but a great option to hook onto your harness, climb with, and throw on over the top. We've got pre-articulated sleeve with an elasticated cuff, easily got enough elastication there to get over the top of the glove and really seal in that warmth. Coming down to the base of the jacket, we've got two hand warmer pockets, which are really nice, convenient, and a relatively good size as well. One of these pockets you can also stuff the jacket into. It's got a two-way zipper, and then it can be hooked onto your harness using a little loop. One thing to bear in mind when it comes to stuffing jackets into their own pockets is they are sort of restricted on how small they can go, because obviously they don't want to make these pockets an impractical size. So when these jackets are stuffed into their own pockets, they're not as small as they could potentially go. And you'll see that in a second when we put it up on screen, that all three of these jackets do have some differences in size and bulk, but they're all roughly a similar shape and size. But all of them will stuff down smaller if you decide to use maybe an external stuff sack or something like that, maybe a compression sack as well. Moving straight down to the bottom, we've got a one-sided hem adjustment point just to help draw the hem in and seal in all that warm air. And then finally moving into the inside of the jacket, we've got a really nice breathable internal fabric, just so if you're wearing this with the short sleeves, it's really comfortable and nice against the skin. And then we've got two elasticated drop pockets on the inside of the jacket, perfect for your gloves, hats, things you just want to be able to stuff into a pocket that's nice and easy to access and leave in there. They'll also be nice and warm then when you pull them out to use them later. So in terms of who this jacket is for, it's a really good option for anyone that's looking for a lightweight, packable synthetic option for mostly trekking, hiking, day use, but also for climbing as well. Like we mentioned, it's really easy to pack away, hook onto your harness and have when you get to the top of your climb. So a really good option there for anyone looking for a lightweight, packable, synthetic insulated jacket. Next up we have the Nano Puff, which comes in 3 different variations from us. We've got the vest, we've got the normal jacket without a hood, and then we've got one with a hood as well. So 3 really good options just to help fill every different aspect of what you might want to use this jacket for. This jacket is designed to be a good multi-day trekking jacket, but also a really nice casual jacket as well, which explains the 3 different options here to fill a variety of different situations. We're seeing a 20 denier outer fabric on here, which is really nice and really durable, making it good for that casual wear, so a lot of heavy use isn't going to burn down the outside of the jacket. Underneath that, we're seeing a Primaloft gold insulation, so a really good insulation. It's got a good warmth to weight ratio. It's not going to pack down quite as small as the insulation we were looking at in the previous jacket, but it's still a really nice, really toasty synthetic insulation that's still going to keep you warm when it gets damp. In terms of weather protection, this has got a DWR coating and it's still going to give you a good level of wind protection as well, but not fully waterproof. Starting at the top of the jacket, we've got a full length YKK main zipper, one-way zipper, so again, you wouldn't want to be belaying in this jacket. On this version, we've got a nice high collar, and then on the hooded version, we've got a nice elasticated pullover hood, again designed to go underneath a helmet rather than over the top of it, and then the elasticated edges make sure that the hood fits you really nicely and isn't going to blow off in any high winds. Moving down the jacket, we've got pre-articulated sleeves with a really simple elasticated cuff, big enough to go over a pair of gloves, just like we looked at, and then we've got 2 lower hand warmer pockets. A little bit differently to the jacket we just looked at, this one actually stuffs into an internal pocket on the jacket. Unzip this, which is located just here. It's easily big enough to take a modern day smartphone, a wallet, anything like that. And when you need it to, if you unzip it, it's got a 2-way zipper that you can pack the entire jacket into. And again, a really good size. Like I mentioned, pockets have to be a certain size, so it does restrict how small they can make that when they're doing it. But a really good size and certainly small enough to be hooked onto a harness if you want to use it as a climbing jacket. And then finally coming down to the bottom, we've got elasticated draw cord. It's a 1-point adjustment, so adjusts both sides with the pull of 1 elasticated toggle. A really nice jacket for both casual use but also multi-day trekking. It's got a really good warmth to weight ratio, packs down to a really good size, and because it's synthetic insulation, you don't have to worry about it getting wet. So if you're in the market for a really durable, lightweight jacket for hiking, but also a bit of casual wear as well, this is a really good option for you. And then finally, but by no means least, we have the Das Light, which is a really awesome insulated jacket designed mostly for alpine use and climbing, but could also be used for a multi-day trekking jacket, but primarily designed as a belay jacket. And you can see that by the 2-way YKK zip at the front, which allows you to undo the jacket from the bottom, poke your belay loop out and belay while still retaining a nice warm jacket on your top half. Starting from the outside, we're seeing a 10 denier Pertex Quantum Pro outer fabric. So this is giving you the next level of wind and water resistance compared to the other jackets we've looked at. So the fabric itself has got a backer on it, which means that it's a lot more water resistant. The seams aren't taped, so it's not waterproof, but in terms of a good level of protection from an insulated jacket, this is probably the highest you can go before you get to waterproof. And then behind that, we've seen that Plumafill insulation. So really nice packable insulation that better represents down. It's going to give you a better warmth to weight ratio. It's going to pack down a little bit smaller, and it's also going to help regulate your temperature. What's worth mentioning on this jacket is it does look a bit like sheet insulation, but this outer fabric is actually hung, so it's not connected to the inside of the jacket. If we open it up, we'll still see, this side's probably a bit better to show you, we'll show you a close-up as well. We see that sort of patchwork pattern again, just to help maintain the loft of the insulation, the synthetic insulation, keep it stabilized so it's not moving around the jacket too much, and also allow for really good airflow to help regulate your temperature better, something that synthetic insulation hasn't been as good at in the past. In terms of the features, we are now getting a fully helmet compatible hood, so a really nice big hood that can be adjusted to fit. The front of the hood is all handled by this one piece of elastic, so it just stretches to fit your head perfectly. And then we've got a slightly doubled up piece of fabric at the front to give us a bit of rigidity and a little bit of a peak at the front without adding any additional weight. So a really nice feature, and they've moved away from that sort of wire that used to run through a lot of peaks, which one added weight, but also was sometimes a failure point. So it's just a piece of rigid fabric in there, which does bend and flex so you can pack it away nice and easy, but it gives you a little peak there before the elasticated cuff on the inside. And then on the rear of the jacket, we're seeing a volume reduction point on the back there with a sort of internal toggle. So the toggle's nicely out of the way, and it's not going to bother you, and that can just help reduce the volume if you decide to wear this without a helmet. Moving down, we see what we've just discussed, which is a two-way YKK main zipper. And we've also got an external chest pocket just here, so it can be reached if you've put a harness over the top of it. Really nice, easily big enough for smartphone and a wallet. Moving down, we've got pre-articulated sleeves and we've got a doubled back elasticated cuff. So the actual elastic of the cuff runs inside the sleeve, which means they can bring all that insulation right up to the end of the cuff, just giving you a bit more warmth, helping seal in that warmth a little bit more. And once that goes over the top of a set of gloves, you've got a really good warm seal, meaning none of that warm air that you're creating in the jacket is going to escape. Moving down, we've got two YKK zip hand warmer pockets. So the pockets sit behind the insulation, meaning it's a nice warm place to keep your hands on a colder day. And one of those pockets is double zipped, so you can stuff it into its own pocket, giving you a really convenient pack size that can be hooked onto a harness if you wish. In terms of the base of the jacket, we're still seeing just a 1-point adjustment system for the hem, helping you lock in all that warm air. If we unzip the jacket, we see that patchwork pattern that we've come to know and love from Patagonia. And on one side, we've got a nice elasticated drop pocket, perfect for your hat, gloves, those kind of things. The DAS Light is a really nice option for anyone that's looking for a nice, warm, synthetic belay jacket. It packs down to a really good size thanks to that new insulation. It's got a nice, durable, weather-protected outer to keep you nice and dry, warm. But like we said, because it's synthetic insulation, you just don't have to worry as much. And because it's synthetic insulation, it can take a little bit more abuse than maybe the down equivalent could. So if you're looking for a really nice belay jacket that's durable, going to keep you protected and keep you warm, this is a really nice option. And potentially for anyone that's looking for a synthetic multi-day trekking jacket that they can put into their pack when they go out, that's relatively light, packs down nice and small, but it's got a really good warmth to weight ratio, then this would be a really good option for you as well. So that was a really quick look at our Patagonia insulated range here at Taunton Leisure. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. And like always, if you could like and subscribe, it really helps us out. We'll see you next time.